KCLR.
My name is Ruairi Hanrahan, and today I am happy to be speaking to Brian Hogan about the All-Ireland Hurling final. Hello Brian and welcome. My first question is, don't eat my sweets.
Hi Rory, how are you?
Good.
Sorry, what was that first question?
Don't eat my sweets.
Don't you? I wouldn't dream of it, Rory. I seen the way you're eyeing up that dish. I'm afraid to put my hand near the jellies.
What is your first hurling memory?
My first hurling memory, I suppose, would be 1991. And Kilkenny lost to Tipperary. I remember going to the final with my father and my younger brother, and I remember leaving the match in tears after Michael Cleary got a goal to win the match for Tipperary. So that was my first memory of, I suppose, Kilkenny hurling.
You were captain in 2011 when we beat Tip. What was it like?
That's right, Rory. I was captain, yeah. It was fantastic. It was a dream come true. I mean, I suppose when I was your age, my dream was to wear the black and amber jersey and hurl for Kilkenny in an All-Ireland final. I never really dreamed about actually captaining the team. So to have the honour of captaining such a fantastic bunch of players and to win an All-Ireland and to win an All-Ireland against probably our fiercest rivals in Tipperary, it was, I suppose, a highlight of my career, something that, you know, I'd always remember for as long as I live. It was one of the best moments in my life.
Which team would you rather play, Tip or Galway?
It's a good question, Rory. It's a tough one. I mean, look, I'd be delighted just to be playing anyone in an Ireland final. It's a great occasion, but between myself and yourself, I'd probably rather play Tip, just because they're our near neighbours, you know, and you always want to beat the lads down the road, you know, you're near neighbours, but keep that one to yourself.
You play centre back. I like playing centre back. What skills do you think makes a good centre back?
I was going to say I better watch out for you coming up. You're looking to take my place, but I say I'll be long gone by the time you get up to wear the number 6 for O'Loughlin's, please God. But yeah, I suppose the important skills would be your first touch. So in hurling, no matter what position you play, you have to have a great first touch. So I'd say get out against the wall, against the side of your house, and just hit the ball after you have your homework done every evening. Get out there and puck the ball against the wall. Get your father to put a light up there on the side of the house so you can see where the ball is, and puck away there for a couple of hours. The best skill you can get is get your first touch good, and don't worry about if you break a window or two. That's all part and parcel of it. So that's the first skill I practice, is your first touch. And then obviously for me, catching the ball is an important skill at centre back. You know, you have a lot of high balls coming down, so you need to be strong in the air as well. What
Galway player do Kilkenny need to watch?
Yeah, there's a number of Galway players, you know, Kilkenny need to be aware of. I think Galway are playing very well this year. They had a great game against Tipperary in the semi-final, and they were very good all over the field. But I suppose their standout, their marquee player probably is Joe Canning. Have you heard of Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dangerous, isn't he? Yeah, he scored a great goal in the Leinster final. So he's probably the player that will take watching, you know. So hopefully, I think if he starts full forward, our captain Joey Holden will be marking him. So hopefully Joey will have a good day on him. But he's a danger man for Galway.
Who was your first manager?
My first manager, well, my only manager with Kilkenny, I suppose at senior level, obviously, was Brian Cody. With O'Loughlin's, when I started hurling, it would have been John Joe Cullen. When I went up, probably when I started hurling, there wouldn't have been any other 6s or under 7s, under 8s, etc. It would have been just under 10s and 12s. So I would have gone in, John Joe would have been my first manager, and then I would have been fortunate enough then to have Brian Murphy managing me then all the way underage from under 14, 16 and minor. You probably don't remember Brian Murphy, but your father might. He hurled for Cork, so he was my manager then after John Joe. So they were the big influences on my underage career in O'Loughlin's.
You have 7 All-Ireland medals. Which win is your favourite?
Yeah, that's a good question, Rory. Like, they're all special. You know, any All-Ireland you win, you're fortunate enough to win. they're great. You know, there's great memories there. You know, they're all different, I suppose. Different challenges they bring every year. Obviously, winning your first All Ireland is great. Winning in your first All Ireland on the field of play, you know, is fantastic. That's really, you know, I remember that day really well. You know, that's really, you know, very special for me. But you probably mentioned it. You know, you did mention it earlier on in your question. Probably 2011, captain in the team. You know, you don't get much greater an honour than to captain, you know, your I suppose your teammates to All Ireland success. And as I said, beating Tipperary on that day, having lost the previous year in 2010, that was probably the sweetest one for me.
Will O'Loughlin's win the Kilkenny County this year?
That's the plan. I hope so. We're training hard to try and achieve that. That's obviously our goal, but obviously it's the goal of every other club in the county to try and win the county championship. There'll be a few teams that might have something else to say about that, but yeah, we're going to go as hard as we can to try and win the county championship this year, hopefully.
Who was your favourite hurler?
Favourite hurler? I mentioned one of my first memories was 1991, which is a long time ago, when I was watching Kilkenny Hurling, and there were some great defenders, some great players in those teams. But I always remember watching Willie O'Connor play. Willie was a super player, you know, really skillful and fantastic at reading the game. I always enjoyed watching Willie hurling, and then you would have had maybe the likes of Pat O'Neill, who would have hurled centre back, very physically, very strong. So that's the same position that myself and yourself hurled, Ruairi. He's a bit number 6, and you know, he was very strong under the high ball. So again, probably like yourself, watching Kilkenny hurling, I go out in the back garden with the brothers after the matches, and we try and reenact the players, the likes of Willie O'Connor and Pat O'Neill and these guys, and what they were doing during the match. So they would have been two hurlers that I would have looked up to when I was your age.
What other sports have you played?
I've played soccer predominantly. Would have played soccer as a kid, and then would have given it up just to concentrate on the hurling when I suppose I went into Kieran's College, and I would have taken it back up then just for a year or two just to stay fit over the winter. But I'd have an interest in all sports. I love watching any sport really, from rugby to American football to anything that's on the sports channels I'll watch. But probably the only other sport I would have played would have been soccer.
Should Claire sack Davy Fitz?
Should Claire sack Davy Fitz? I better be careful. Your father is from Clare over there, isn't he? So I'm not sure which side of the camp he sits in. Should Claire sack Davy Fitz? I'm trying to think of a diplomatic answer here, and there's nothing coming to me at the moment, Rory. I think my opinion doesn't really matter in this, because as long as Brian Cody stays in charge at Kilkenny, I think we're okay. Clare will have to come up with an answer for that one themselves. It's the best I can come up with.